Just that you know, this is just for knowing, this session is being recorded in YouTube. So later you can get all the sessions if you want to recover something.
So this afternoon, it's about sharing. We will start sharing our information. We will start with a brief explanation of what the network, the local and regional government's time network is for those of you that are not part of it, because the project is embedded on this network. Then Bolzano will present us their plan for the World Capital of Time policies. And then we will have a roundtable with representative cities and regions that have already implemented time policies. The idea is that they start sharing already some practices, some ideas, and then we will have some time after this roundtable to also hear from all of you and be able to start this 2-year-long work of learning from each other, let's say. So I will give the floor to Marta for this first part, and then we will invite Silvia Profander to the stage. Not yet.
Very good. Good afternoon. Now it comes the part that I will do 10 minutes speech with the presentation. I hope not to get so boring for you. And then you can make questions if you have any. Okay? The idea of now is to present, as Ariana was saying, what is the network and what is time policies. So if you come back to your respective organization and they ask you, what is time policies, what they are talking about, you can provide an answer, okay? So let's start. Time policies. You can describe that in many ways, but usually with the network, with the experience from more than 20 years, we arrive to that description. That is, time policies are those policies that put time as a factor, the time factor as a key element in the agenda. When you take decisions, you consider which impact they will have in time. And they allow to increase the health, the quality, the efficiency, and sustainability for all citizens. Okay? So it's to put the time factor, to consider the time factor and consider which impacts you are going to generate with the policy that you are implementing. Easy, yeah? Now we are going to explain the network and what is the name of this network, because it's not a very sexy name, but it's easy to understand if we go word by word. It's a network of local and regional, because our idea is not just to cover cities, but also metropolitan areas and regions. Okay, so far cities are the most the partner with a major number, but as you have seen here, we have metropolitan area represented, and we have also one region. We want to increase, okay? But the target are regions. We usually use the word governments because we are not representing everything. We are representing those that have public responsibilities in public policies. Okay, that's why we use the word governments. Time, I think that is obvious. And network, because we want to work in a collaborative way. Okay, together it generates local and regional governments time network. Okay, a bit long, but when you analyze, it makes sense. This picture is the last General Assembly that we had in Barcelona in October 22nd. And there is people from Latin America, from cities of Latin America that are also part of this network. This network includes mostly European cities, but as well from last year we have cities as from Argentina, cities from Colombia that are part of the network. I'm going to say hello because I know that some of them are watching us today. So hello from Bergamo. We hope to meet you soon in the Latin American Week all together. Good. So 2 concepts so far. What is the network? If someone asks you, what is this network about? This network is a meeting point aimed to exchange and promote implementable time policies that are generated in the local and regional network. Okay, so the objective of the network is exactly this one, exchange and promote, to put the right to time into the agenda. It's always important not just to know which are your objectives now, but to have a vision where you are going. And that's what we have been working with the board of the network in the last years. As we said before, in the 80s, the time policies were starting to emerge in Italy and then in French. In 2008, the network was created with 6 members. Then in 2021, the network, thanks to the work of a lot of people, but especially of Time4All, the network had already 18 members. And after the COVID crisis, we considered that was the moment to rethink the time policies, to relaunch the time policies and to relaunch the network. That's why in 2021, we relaunched the network, not just looking at the cities, but as well as regions, not just looking at Europe, as well and other areas of the world. From 2022 to 2024, the objective of the network is to consolidate and expand, especially in Europe and beyond Europe. And we believe that the project that we start today will be a key pillar for that. And which is our vision, where we are going. Our vision for 2030 is that the time policies are a key political area for all the local and regional governments. As Ariana said this morning, they are not an exception. They are the norm. No? That's what we want to do. We also want that the European Union and United Nations recognize the need of right to time. And they have funds, money, to fund the programs that are necessary. And we hope as well that the members can have, that the network can have members around the world, not just Europe. I know that some of you have contacts in Africa that already proposed, like we have other regions to explore in 2030. Very good. So I think that it's also good that you know who are the members of the board of this network, because it's the people that meets every 3 months to take decisions. They are Barcelona City Council, Bolzano, Strasbourg, Time4All, German Society for Time, and the Secretariat was elected the Barcelona Time Use Initiative for the period 2021-2024. Okay? Last thing that I want to explain to you is about which are the objectives of this period, what we have done and what we are willing to do. One of the objectives externally was to share knowledge and develop the time policies and local and regional agenda. Today we have been talking a lot about the local and regional agenda. With some of you, I have shared an example. You will have done it in the website, but it's a recompilation of good practices. Okay? And what we did as well last year is to create a new website where you can find all this information on good practices, on who are the members. All this information is updated in the website. And on the other side, we have been promoting the right to time. And to do so, we have been creating the concept of capital of time. We will talk about that. We have been working on the project sustainability, and this is an example. To win this project, Time4All is an example. It's not the only project that we are going to run in the coming months. We will keep you informed if there are other projects that we consider that we can do together. And last year already, we started working with United Nations, especially with UN Habitat and PNUD, UNDP. Eurocities, briefly, today I saw that some of you have contacts with Eurocities, are members of Eurocities, so after this meeting, when we take notes, we will contact you on how we can strengthen this relationship, as well with CIDEO, that is the Latin American Network for Urban Cities, and other Latin American cities. Okay, that's what we did last year. And just to put you a couple of examples, because with pictures it's always better than with words, this is the local and regional example, the local and regional time agenda. The name again is not super sexy, but it's a white book of good practices of the second generation of time policies. The first one was about life balance, a better balance between life, work, care, and resting time. And this was published last year already. You can find that in the webpage, but if someone of you is very interested and is very interested on that, please contact us and we can provide more information. And the second topic that we are working at the moment, and we can compile practices until mid-March, is on mobility, sustainability, and the city of 15 minutes. If you have good practices related to that, those that have not done, you can share it with us, and those that have done it, thank you very much. As today, as we have seen in the group that was led by Oliver, we have discussed new topics for 2023. And as I was saying, to finalize, Silvia will explain the candidature of Bolzano for Capital of Time. But first of all, we wanted to explain the concept. What is a World Capital of Time policies? The idea is that every year, the network appoints a city that has presented their candidature to become Capital of Time. The Capital of Time lasts for 1 year, and it started in March 2022 with Barcelona. What are the objectives of this Capital of Time? Basically are three: generate citizens' awareness, promote visibility and sustainability to the network, and promote and consolidate innovative policies within your organization. So far, today we will receive the formal presentation of Bolzano as a Capital of Time, and we are very happy for that. We are working with Strasbourg to see the possibility for 2024, but time flies. So if any of you start thinking that they would like to be the Capital of Time, please to contact to the Secretariat, and we can start giving ideas on that. And I think that that's all from our side, just to tell you that you are all part of the project, but not all of you are part of the network. So if those that want to be part of the network, just write us and we will explain the formal procedure to be part as well of the network. So far it's free, you don't need to pay anything, you just need to dedicate time to this project. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any question, we are here. Thank you.
So we will continue with the second part of the day. I will invite Silvia Profanta from Bolzano to present the capital activities.
So, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity the city of Bolzano has to organize during the whole year 2023 a lot of events to improve this World Capital of Time. Since the first confirmation of this title, of the nomination, we have started to think what can we do during the whole year. So first of all, we reflected what message we wanted to convey. Because time, you know, it's a concept, we talk about it every day, but what it's concretely. So we want this year to bring the awareness to the topic of time and give new impetus to the time policies on the local level, but also on the provincial, on the national, and on the international level. So to reach our goal, we want to create during the whole year moments of discussions, organize events where always the time and the space are central elements. So we have this connection now between time organization, and when we talk about time organization, we always talk about space organization. So we want to activate new services to improve their accessibility and to increase the work-life balance of all the citizens. As in the last years, we want to continue working on digital facilitation projects to help our citizens, our users who have the difficulties with digital devices. Then we want to work on the harmonization of school timetables, and we want to collaborate with the schools and association to guarantee canteen service and extracurricular activities for all students. Another project we work on during this year is the regeneration of urban spaces that were otherwise no longer used by citizens. And we want to establish connections with associations, organizations, and institutions to co-design projects, services, and events. So in the last week, you received from us an email, and also Marta and Ariana said us, we will organize a time week in the month of May. During the whole week, from the 5th May to the 16th, we want to organize a lot of events in collaboration with the university, with associations for children, there are events in the library. And during 3 days, and these days are important for you, from Wednesday 10th to Friday 12th, we have some conferences. The first day, we want to talk about the development of the time policies from the past to the present, how they changed. And we do this in collaboration with the European Academy of Bolzano, the Institute of Public Management, because they are working with other institutions in Europe to promote innovative politics. So this is a moment to change best practices in Europe, and we invite you to come on the 10th to Bolzano. So we have this moment to reflect about the time policies. We have also invited the provincial councillor with the competence in charge of time policies. So the councillor will speak about the time policies in the region of Bolzano. The second day In the morning, we wanted to organize the meeting of the Time4All group, so in collaboration with the University of Bolzano. And in the afternoon, in the late afternoon, there's a conference about the city and the nightlife. So how the different populations can live, yes, can live without conflicts. This conference is in collaboration with a cultural association called Waghaus, and there will be also a concert afterwards. So it's like nice. On Friday in the morning, we have in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce a conference about the new working time models for the working week. We have different flexible working times in the enterprises, and also in the municipality of maybe of Graz and of Bolzano. So in this, during this conference, we wanted also to reflect about the needs of the employees, the needs of the enterprises, and how the new working models, what the new working models have an impact on the working life and also on the private life of the citizens. So that's the program till May, and we contacted a lot of cultural and social organizations, and we are planning for the rest of the year a calendar full of initiatives where the value of the time is in the center of the discussion. So there are conferences about literature, also in the music. We have a collaboration with the music school, so they make some improvisations with time. And we have also the collaborations with cultural organizations to organize visit guides during the whole year. So that's the plan, and we are open for new ideas. If you have some ideas, send it to us so we can edit. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvia. I think it looks a very interesting program, so I'm looking forward to it and discussing very key topics around time, very actual topics, no, that came up in many forums. Okay, so great. So I will ask you to stay for the roundtable, and I would like to invite Núria Vergés from the Catalan government, and also Marina Lafay from Strasbourg. And we will start the. You can come up here, and we will start the roundtable. Thank you. Yes, here. ¿Qué necesitas? Okay, so the idea, if you remember in the morning, we put ourselves on who has a lot of experience in time policies, who has not that much experience. So the idea of this roundtable is to start listening to some of the institutions with experience on time policies. We try to be representative of the different countries of the project. So we have Italy, France, and Spain here. And we will try to have a debate between all of us ladies, because I see we are all ladies, about what time policies mean for these institutions, what have you done, what do you feel proud of, and what do you expect from this project. And then we will have time to also listen to other institutions here that have a lot of experience on time policies as well. So I would like maybe to start with a very basic question, which is, Marta gave a definition of time policies, right? But why are we doing time policies? Why are they important from your point of view? Why do you think that they need to be implemented in their institutions? So I will start on my right, maybe with Sylvia. Why do you think are important?
Okay. From my point of view, the time policies are important because we consider, like I said before, time and space are connected. So when we act on timetables, maybe we have also regulate or make some interventions on the structure of the spaces. For an example, if we work on the on a project for children to go alone to school, because so the families have more time and they don't have to hurry up and to bring them to take them. So we worked also on the spaces on the walking paths, no, to make it more secure, so the children can go alone to the school. For us, important is also that we have in the municipality a structure, a time office. It would be better if it's located in a strategical position, maybe at the secretariat of the general director or the mayor. So we have the role to mediate between the different offices, no, in the administration, and to act like a bridge between the citizens and the politic. Another point is that we never start a process, a participatory process, by presenting the solution, but we try to find a solution together, and to find a solution maybe only for one project. Sorry.
No worries. Okay. Yep. Okay. I'll continue with Marina then, asking a bit the same question. Why are time policies important from your point?
Yes, so big question, but the things which is very important, that time policies put the focus on the individual's need, on the individuals who will benefit from any public services and policies. And so I think the infrastructure and budget are not just called facts, but they are also used. And that's why the time policies make it a priority to study a city or a region from a user perspective. And for instance, people go from a place to place or from the job to a public services. And it is sometimes difficult to do everything, mainly for us, the women, because of the unequal sharing of stakes. So this is also why we need to mix time policies with gender policies, I think, to act also on causes, but also on consequences. And for all the public services, we have to study time, the time it takes, and I think we should be aware of equality, no discrimination, regardless of situation of persons at all ages, regardless of gender. For instance, we should be aware that an adult can walk or travel faster alone than with children, for instance, or for persons with low mobility. It's just an example. So by putting the focus on every user, time policies give us their meaning to public services, I think. And it's also very important for Strasbourg, actually, because we cannot ignore all the signs pointing to the necessity to slow down, I think. As society, as organization, as city, and it's a subject of sense of life or civilization subject that with climate change we need to consume less, to consume less, to use less of our planet's resources. And perhaps also we need to take more time to live. The COVID crisis has show us that also. And I think it's also necessary for us to think about them in the short term, but also in medium and long term. And I think also in politics today that the long-term thinking is very rare. And we have also for the sustainability to think the long term also.
Thank you, Marina. Very interesting ideas. We talked about time and space. The last is always the most difficult, right?
Yeah, I think I share most of your reasons, but just let me stress one thing. We believe the right to time is a right of rights. Without the right to time, we cannot really access other rights, the right to be healthy, the welfare, equality. For example, we have no time, we can't go to the doctor, and we may die sooner than others just because not being able to go to the doctor on time. So this, I think, is very important, no? The right to time as a right of rights. Also because we believe time poverty needs to be redistributed. Time can be redistributed in order to reduce time poverty. And all data is stressing that and is letting us know that especially women still suffer. We have to take into account intersectionality. When we look at women that live in certain areas that they need to travel for a long time to go to work in the main city, for example, if we relate that to class, to the place of origin, and to the place of residence, we see this intersectionality. So that's another reason why we need time policies. And that's why we have this new department on equality and feminisms to stress equality in relation to time policies. And that's why time policy now has been elevated to a directorate that I have the honor to lead. Also because we already have a Catalan trajectory and we have to give value to previous policies, networks, and the work done among our motivated municipalities along Catalonia that have already promoted time policies in the past and for the future. I think it's also important to remind that it's also a legal imperative. In the Catalan and the Spanish law and in many local laws, there is already articles expressing the need to carry out time policies to take into account the time use in our population, and also is coherent with the EU gender equality strategy. And finally, last and not least, because we are fully compromised and we have the political will to transform our societies with gender perspective to become a better and inclusive society. Thank you.
Thank you, Nuria, for this summary. So a lot of ideas just in these very quick interventions, the relationship between time and space, the need for participation, for a good structure, both from Bolzano, from Catalan government and Strasbourg. I think that the gender perspective, it's clear that sort of cross everything, but we talk as well to slow down the effects of climate change and the relationship to time policies, the equality motivation. As Nuria was saying, it's also a legal imperative. We have commitments towards achieving greater equality, and this idea of right of rights as something that enables us to do other things. So because we are here to share practices, what I would like to ask now my colleagues is to share two examples of time policies that they are proud of, and sorry, we are not the best on the best voice, and what are the key benefits that have been achieved through that. So maybe to change the order a bit, I will start with Marina now, and
So I will speak for Strasbourg City and also for the metropolitan area in Strasbourg. We have a big project actually called Revolution des Mobilités, Revolution of Mobility. It's a big project with 500 million euro for all the metropolitan area. And this area, this territory has 500,000 inhabitants. So our goal with this program is to be green, sustainable, low carbon, and affordable to everyone. That means we are developing public transportation and a lot of bike road in the city and even in the rural space, in the small village in our area. And our goal is to make it easier to give up the cars for the daily needs. And also, we would like to reduce the place of the car in the city to protect all the people, and especially the children, from the pollution, and to anticipate the climate change, which is here now. Also, I have to say that yesterday, the last Global City Index showed us that Strasbourg is the first city in France for cycling, and we are the 11th city for cycling in the world. So if you want to develop a politic of bicycle and cycling, we can make some change. This budget of 500 million euro, 100 is for cycling policies, and 300 is for new tram, new train, and new buses network, especially some new bus with a very high quality of services. For instance, a bus in the city each 7 minutes. So that is very important for us. And with this policy also, we also develop an idea of to pacify to the street also, to reduce the number of cars, but also to think a new tempo in our city. When we have less car, it's possible for us to have more space to allocate the space for new using, for new way, like for instance Barcelona with super blocks. It inspired me a lot. And so it's also a solution and a way to slow down what I said before. So yeah, that's this revolution of mobility. It's the main project actually in the metropolitan area.
thank you, Marina. Very interesting project. So we move to Nuria.
Okay, I'm going to introduce you to two of our main projects or programs related to time policies. One of them is called Time for Care, and it plays with the words care and time. It's taking into account care and the care needs to also liberate time for families and especially for women who are the ones that are doing most of the care still nowadays, no? And the objective is to become co-responsible of care as governments and also the municipalities, not only the Catalan government, but also the local governments. And with this, provide public services and for children under 16. That means babysitting. That means to provide services after school, never in the time of school, after school, in the evening, early in the morning, or on holidays periods. And that allows especially women to have some free time, and at the same time they know their children are taken care publicly and allowing to have a quality of work. The normally care work is also highly feminicized and not always informal work with proper labor rights. And that meant more than 700 services created in Catalonia. That meant more than 1 million hours liberated to the families, especially to women, and that meant more than 5,000 new contracts. So we already have these results. And when we designed that program, we also prioritized certain collectives because we know they have time difficulties, especially lone parents, especially women. No, 85% of one-parent families are female-headed. And the survivors of gender-based violence, they have a lot of problems with time. Long-term unemployed women, women over 45, that they tend to be this sandwich generation. They have to take care of their elderly, and they also have to take care of their children. Families with additional care responsibilities because they have to take care of a child that has, for example, a special needs, or that they have to take care to different members of the family. And also migrant women, because we know they lack time, they lack networks, and they also have time poverty. And another one of our policies, it's the recent creation of the Catalan network for the right to time, with this the idea of recognizing this trajectory, the value of the policies that have been carried out by many municipalities, by company networks, by certain entities, and bring them together, connecting them somehow in the same spaces to force them to communicate and to create awareness, to share these best practices, to bring them everywhere, to the whole country. Not only stay in these motivated municipalities, but to let all the others hear about that, learn about that, and try to implement that in other places, with the specificity to also connect that with research, experts, people that likes to use the media to spread the word of time policies at the same time, no? Because policies need to be research-based. We need to communicate these worlds to all improve together. So we've just started. Soon we will open that to start getting members, and we hope we can have a big celebration in the next Time Use Week of this network. Thank you.
Thank you, Nuria. So two very good examples of time policy. So last but not least, Bolzano, if you can.
Hope my voice is better than before. So I present two examples. First, a lot of interventions in the school sectors. We worked a lot with the kindergarten to create flexible entry and exit hours, because first there were only fixed time to bring the children and to take them, and so we make it more flexible. Also, we try to harmonize the entry and exit times of the high school in a certain area of Bolzano, because there is a concentration of a lot of high schools where the students don't only come from Bolzano, but also from the province. So we had to find a harmonization of these school times, also with the public transport, because the students from other municipalities are coming by bus or by train. Another project in the school sector is the Intermensa projects. These are projects in collaboration with associations from the districts. There, the children can stay at school after school times, after having lunch at the canteen at the school. And there are the associations who look for the children, and so the children can stay there till 2:30. Then we organize a lot of activities, extracurricular activities during the summertime and during the school-free times, because a lot of families have difficulties to organize the care of the children during these periods where there is no school. So these projects have effects on the work-life balance of the families with children. And so we try always to limit the waste of time for the parents and for the children. No, the children can stay at school, and the parents don't have to hurry and bring the children, take them to the music school or to the sports. So all should be organized by the school or in the school spaces. So the second dimension we work on is the public spaces I said before. Our opinion is that the public spaces should be available for all the citizens, but it happens that some places are abandoned by the citizens, and they decide not to frequent them anymore, and so the administration have to redevelop these spaces and giving them a new life. We worked on a commercial area in our city where, due to structural issues and dirtiness, this main street of the city has gone from being one of the busiest street to a poorly frequented street. So together with the shopkeepers, the owners of the shops at the street level, the residents at the upper floor of the buildings, and the administration, we have set up a lot of working groups, and we try to resolve the situation. We made structural changes, made to the lighting. In the beginning, there was a poor and badly positioned lighting, and so we built a new one, and so it's really nice to go through. Then an agreement was reached for the maintenance and the cleaning of the street, because there are arcades, and in the pedestrian passage there it was always dirty, so now it's clean. On the other hand, we organized also motorbike and bicycle parking spaces, so to create more order in the whole city. And the shopkeepers organize events and create a new livable district. So we're working on these two projects.
Great, thank you, Silvia. It's interesting because we didn't tell you which practices to explain, but we can see how cross time policies are, right? We have talked about climate change, about sustainability, about care, about research, about companies. So I think that about public space and urbanism. So I think this shows how different time policies are all working towards changing a bit the model of the city or the way we organize as a community. But I think it's interesting to see how different and it's still towards the same goal policies are in different areas, no? And the regional vision that might be a bit different than the municipality one, let's say. So one last question for you all. I will start with Marina now. We are here launching this project. We are also part of a network of governments. So how do you expect to benefit from being part of this project and from the network?
Yeah. Personally, and I think for the city of Strasbourg, we want with this network to work about two priorities. be higher and to discover together some new solution. The first one is the question of the discrimination and the gender inequalities. I think it's the origin of time policies. We know the situation, but the problem still, it's not, yes, we have not the solution. The problem is here today also. And the second thing is the question of the climate change and also the defense of the biodiversity. So for the first aspect, I mean the gender equality, why it is important? Because I'm a politic woman also, I'm a woman. And what I can say is it's that we suffer again today of this inequality, and we are tired of that. We had enough, and we want change, not action, and find together some solution. We don't want that anymore. And I think it's clear for me that makes that we want significant progress. And we want to continue with you to fight together. This fight is also born in Milano and around with the origin of time policies. So the network can give you perhaps the forces to find some solution. And the second topic, climate change and ecological aspect, but I think it's very important because we have no choice. We are all in the same planet. We have all the same problem, I think, but the solution, perhaps it's sometimes difficult to be sure to have the good solution. So that's why I think very quickly, it's now, it's not tomorrow. We have to share some good practices to find together some new solution. Perhaps we will fail, perhaps we will try, we will test something, but we have to do something immediately. And also the network can give us the force to fight together about this very big problem, but I insist to say that is now. And so that's also very important. The network also inspires us and it's challenging us, but we are stronger together. That's also the European aspect. We are stronger together. That's true for Europe and that's true for us, for this network also. So that's I think my priority. Yeah.
Thank you, Marina. So I will move to Nuria with the same question, and especially from this regional maybe point of view that it's different.
Yeah, it's the regional because it's the Catalan government, but here we have a lot of municipalities that they have a great tradition. So if you want to take voice and explain some of your practices and visions, up to you as well. Someone, yay! You can say, yeah, take my voice.
Well, I shortly would like to explain you what we do in Barcelona, from Barcelona City Council, since we are one of those motivated municipalities that Nuria mentioned. In fact, in Barcelona, we have a long tradition in time policies. We started in 2003 creating a time policies office that was the first of its kind in Spain. And 2 years later, we created a network of companies working for new users on time. It started with something like 30 companies, and now there are more than 140. And with the support of the council, we organize events so they can meet, they can exchange ideas, good practices. It also includes a fostering program of companies with more experience that advise companies that start. And it's giving us really good results. And maybe the most important the most emblematic policy we have done was the creation in 2014 of a time pact is a citywide agreement with the stakeholder, economical and social stakeholders, that together with the city council implement all kind of ideas oriented to promote patterns of organization that are more friendly, more healthier, more equal, etc. And under the umbrella of this pact, the City Council itself is developing at present more than 70 different policies. I cannot mention all of them, but just as examples, we have a project called Concilia, which is a child care system. It's free. It's also for families with more problems to get private care. We also have a project called Villa Veïna, which is a kind of super blog, but not as much physical as a concentration of care services in blogs. So they can provide short, a faster and well, but the services are in a short area. I cannot think now about the many examples, but as you can see, we have a strong tradition, and we are improving now the international perspective by participating in different networks, projects like this, Time Use Week, etc. So thanks for giving me the chance to explain it, Nuria.
That's good. We will have, thank you. I will go to Sylvia, and then we will open the floor so others can explain as well their experiences, because I think that we have many experiences that are worth listening to.
What I expect from being part of this Time4All project is mainly to open my mind, to have new inputs, to keep in touch with other municipalities and look what they are doing, and to think about if I can transport the good ideas from others to my reality, and to go further on, to go on and to guarantee our citizens and our city users the accessibility to services and the use of the public spaces. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Sylvia. And thank you all three to share your experiences and ideas. And as I said, well, we were some municipalities that already have experience on time policies. So we are good on time. So I would invite them to, if they want to explain examples, good practices that they feel may be interesting to others, since we are all here now. So I open the floor to that. Oliver, I see you.
Thank you, Ariadna, and thank you all for all your interventions. It was really important to hear the examples of big cities like yours, to understand how important is this issue, right? Time policies. So in Esplugas, we have been also pioneers in this area, because we've been working on this since 2015. And our first major activity was to realize a conference to talk about the time reform, right? And after that, we noticed that a lot of companies, a lot of enterprises, and some other social stakeholders were open to explain what they've been doing and the things that they still can do. So after that, in 2016, we opened a participatory process. As Sylvia mentioned, this is also important, not just to know the opinion of what politicians can do with this team, but also to give some opportunities for others to explain or give their opinion on what can they do to improve these time schedules or work schedules, right? After that, we organized also in 2018 well, we've been chose one of the cities, one of the Catalan cities, to lead that participatory process. I believe that Barcelona and some others Catalans that are here today were also participating in that process. But what I wanted to say that it's important is that after the pandemic history that or period that we have lived, we all learned something that Marina also mentioned, no? Is that the importance to live. Because it's true that the pandemic, one of the things that has made it is open the eyes for all of the people to understand that we have to change our habits. And when we talk about time policies, I think that that's one of the key things that we have to bear in mind, right? That we have to change our habits. And we did it by creating a protocol of teleworking. We have mentioned that here today in the groups, how important it is to work in different places, right? To work from home, but also the right to disconnect. I think that that's one of the things that we all have to struggle a little bit more and to improve maybe, because it's true that we still have some inequalities, even though we are able to work from home, but we still have tons of work, especially for women, right? And to focus on the things that we also have done, I would say that one of the main or important things that we have to explain is that the time policies need to be put in the front of the policies in general, right? For example, in Esplugues, our major is the one who is in charge of this area. So I think that we have to put the value to the importance of this policy. If we are not able to do that, it's going to be difficult to make it an important point, right? So that's why we have included in our strategic organization as a policy, and we've been working on that since 2019. Also, the engagement of all the social stakeholders is one of the key things to achieve the goal, because if we don't have the participation of workers' union, companies, and institutions, it's going to be difficult for everyone to be able to adapt to this new reality of work schedules. And as I mentioned before, the pandemic has speed up the process to make a change when it comes to time policies. And we believe that it's essential to understand that because time policies would improve our health, especially our mental health, or, well, all other kinds of things that will make us better. I think it's important to say, as Nuria mentioned as well before, the opinion of experts is also something that we have to put value on. And that's something that we also learned from the pandemic, because we've been listening to doctors and experts from all over the planet, how they were talking about the pandemic issues. So in this case, we also have to listen to experts when they talk about the benefits of the time policies, right? So basically, I wanted to mention that, and also, I don't want to forget anything, I'm sorry. Also, the future that we would like to see is that in 2023, in the case of Explugas, we want to do another conference that can update the agreements that we have on this issue and make new participants able to connect and able to participate in general in all these processes, right? Because as I mentioned, if we don't have other stakeholders looking forward to implement all these time policies, it's going to be kind of difficult to change all our habits. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, just two last wishes. Since many of you are coming from municipalities all over Europe, I will ask you to ask your regions to join our efforts, our networks, our debates. So I am not going to be alone here as a region. That's one thing and one wish. And another one, to keep doing what we've been doing, debating, reflecting, implementing, and sharing best practices, and keep taking action together towards good solutions related to time policies with gender perspective.
Good wish. So, any municipality, metropolitan area, region, municipality or metropolitan area or province that wants to share examples of good practice. I think we have a good variety, topics that coming back, no, participation, social stakeholders, the importance of care, the gender perspective, and so on. Or if you want to ask questions to our panelists here, of course, you also can about the specific policies that they have implemented. I don't know. Or about the structure, we have talked as well about the structure, no, you mentioned.
Ariana, I would like to just put a question to the whole room, because we mentioned today the importance of how the cities have to adapt to the reality of the time policies. So I don't know if any of you have any idea on how we can do that. Maybe people from other bigger cities can mention how can, you know, in a digital way, but not only in a digital way, but also in an urban construction way. You know what I mean? No? We were talking about, for example, the example of how difficult it is sometimes at some hours to go outside because of the some people feel unsafe to go out because of the darkness of some areas of the cities. And you know that there are some intelligent lights nowadays where you can pass by and they illuminate the whole street. So maybe I'm just thinking, I'm thinking out loud. Maybe that would be a way to improve that area, but I don't know if any of you think about other ways.
Okay, I open the floor for our collective intelligence here. Someone wants to answer with an example on that? Or other ways to adapt?
Yeah, I think the question of the darkness and night, it's a very big subject actually for all the city, I think. And for this team or for another topics also, I think we have to improve another way of to make our policies. I mean, perhaps we have sometimes no information. It's sometimes difficult to be good way, but we have some time to make some tests, to have an experimental policies, and perhaps we will network. If it doesn't work, it's okay also. But yes, we have to test and to share the results of our policies for the night or for the gender securities and gender equality. Because in the same time we can test everything in the city, but perhaps I can test something and share with you the results, and you can test another solution, and we can compare the result. That is also, but it's not very simple for the elected people like us, because when we failed, it's sometimes difficult to tell us the results, but we have to share that also with the population to say, because I said the emergency of climate change, there is something we don't know. We have no idea, but we have to act now. So testing, it's also very good policies, and I invited, I'm inviting us to share that also.
Perfect. Thank you, Marina. I have two persons. First from Austria.
I think feeling safe at night was a very good example, and it's not some people don't feel so safe, it's mostly women who don't feel so safe, just to be precise. And I'm the gender equality manager, and all products and services have to be shown to me to put the gender perspective in it, because the energy crisis was a very good example. They said we don't use so much light in the city. For the energy experts, this was very good, but it needed somebody to tell them that this is not the right solution for the citizens, especially for women. So I think the most important aspect for gender for us is the networking, making sure that I'm in every project and they have to contact me, and it is written down that they have to prove that they considered this. And it's the same for time policies. I think it's the networking that's the most important, because the others are experts in their fields and they do very good work, and you have to honor their very good work, but you are just adding the special time policy, the gender aspect, whatever you need.
That's a good point. I had Blai from Barcelona City Council.
Yes, thank you. I think this discussion is very interesting, and I would like to follow the lead of my colleague in Austria. So thanks for your words too. In Barcelona City Council, we've been working on the idea of exploratory walks. This comes from Jane Jacobs' thinking. So people, especially women, and it is really aimed to women, walk the city and they analyze from their own point of view, which in tradition is not the common point of view of those who had been designing the city until now or the next 5 months, I don't know. And we've been doing some of those walks, and now we are working on a platform or on a map, so we can put all that information. And then city planners, also citizenship, also entities, also women in general, also whoever can access to that information, and then can have their own diagnosis of the needs, and they can maybe add something, they can, I don't know, they can improve the city. We have also a booklet of this methodology and how to proceed on the making of these walks. And I would be very pleased to share it with all the rest, because I think we introduced it in English. And I think that both the booklet and the map are great ideas on these exploratory walks.
Thank you, Blai. Maybe an idea that's coming to my mind, and we will ask Isabella maybe, is that if we have a shared folder, maybe we can start create a repository of materials that came up on this discussion. So the booklet or other materials other municipalities can have, and maybe it's like a nice way for everyone to start sharing things on the project. Good. I don't know if you wanted to say so. No? Okay. Any other comments, ideas, inspiration you had after hearing everyone talk? No, yeah. Okay.
One thing, Ariadna, I think maybe when we talk about how to start, it's good to think that we can start with baby steps. So how we can implement things easily. So as a municipality, sometimes is changing the process, how people can manage to ask some services. So how we can reduce their time to ask for something. So maybe it's through digital transformation. Sometimes is putting people to help them. So this is also managing their time, being respectful with their time. So as a municipality, we always talk more about other things like urbanism, etc., but we don't talk about these type of things we manage that impact the daily life of many people, many companies. And for example, if they needed to request some documentation, so what time we are asking for them to. So this is a baby step that we can make this reflection and try to improve. In Ada, during the pandemic, we started making this digital transformation, and we took advantage of that to change this series of requests through our services. But also we identified that there are a lot of people who are not in the digital world. So we had to implement another services through telephone to help them. So this is just a good practice that you could avoid than our experience, from our experience. And also we try to implement it through the services, training our people how to serve the society. So we try to explain through trainings how to ask for meetings, how conducting meetings, which time to organize meetings, how to be effective, how to prepare documents before and after meetings. So everything related to this type of relationships that we do with entities, with group of mothers, with different collectives that we don't know, but we do impact in their time. So we try to bring awareness through our people to work better with the collective we work, and then in this type of matter make some changes. I think this is like baby steps that from our organization that are really small, and we don't have so many resources to implement, but we try to be creative with the resources we had, also making use of digital tools. So we try to share information through websites, through media, and share resources that could be useful for others. Other things we try to implement during the pandemic and taking advantage, as it could be thought as in this period of time. Implementing some changes, for example, changing time of concerts, activities with families, activities with teenagers that they also needed our help. So we try to make changes in the timetable of the activities organized through the municipality, and then adjusting them to the goal or the vision we think we should have or should offer the activities. And not least, but very important, we launched network with different and key contacts from collectives, from also entities and companies to work together through time policies. And this is important because it's not just the municipality showing best practices, but we are gathering best practices from the private sector and the third sector to share between us how we can make changes, but like that also from the baby steps, because sometimes we think change needs to be very, very big, and baby steps could change more.
Yes, perhaps I want to react about that. I think if it is the beginning of time policies for a city, for instance, or if it is a small city, it can be easier, I think. For instance, in Strasbourg, if I want to develop something, sometimes the services said to me, "Oh, we have tried that in the past. No, it was not a good idea. We failed. We saw some difficulties, but times are changing. But it's sometimes difficult for me to convince the services and perhaps my colleagues also in politics. And also, it's systemic topics, time policies. And in a big city, we have different services, and it's sometimes very difficult to connect them around this goal. But if you are a small city, you have sometimes the same director who is in charge time policies, gender activities, school or urbanistic things. So it's if you convince this person, you can act in the transversal action and in the systemic way. And in a big city like Strasbourg, for instance, sometimes difficult because it's 7,000 people who work for us. So it's harder to convince large population or many services, and it's also an opportunity when it's the beginning and where for the small city. I think it's. I'm not sure of that, but it's an intuition. I see that. I think it's true.
Ariadna?
Yeah, I
Vera? Yeah. And just I think that you know that the pandemic period for Bergamo was very heavy. Maybe the city that was more number of dead in Italy, maybe in Europe. And one thing that we can say today that our strength was that we have built in the year awareness and we built a lot with the people that work inside the institution and with the we have the reti di quartiere with the active citizen that live in the city, the network inside in the city. And when was the pandemic period, this was our strength. So I think that the network is also very important to build some best practice and we hope not in pandemic, in another pandemic situation, but is really something of very important.
Yeah, thank you, Vera. Yes, definitely. I see some ideas that I think are interesting. First, that we don't need big, flashy changes, but changes that are impacting day-to-day lives of people, as Juliana was mentioning. And I think that also Marina, when she was talking about piloting things, right, before going all in, we can pilot, we can try, we can see if a small change, how it goes, and then build up on that. So I think these are nice advice when we are starting or we want to enter in another issue regarding time policies. And Barry was saying, and plus having a good network somewhere and someone you can ask, how did it go in your municipality? What did you do? And so on. So I think we are well set to start this two-year collaboration that we hope it lasts longer than these 2 years, of course. We have still some time. I know some of you also have some projects or questions or advice. If someone wants to say something else. Marta?
I would like to do one question to the new ones, okay? To those that have said at the beginning that had less experience. But first, a reflection, no? Because I was listening to you and I think that it was very inspirational, this part of the session. Thank you. And you were saying that the network makes us stronger, right? I'm very convinced that, and we were talking yesterday with Genevieve, that it's one of the fathers of time policies, no? That the time organization has not changed significantly in the last 100 years in terms of the number of hours that we work. And although the women have entered to the labor market, the system keeps being the same and doesn't work. And that's what we need to show. We need baby steps. They are important to start. But I think that with this project, we need to get a lot of strength and saying that it's the moment to rethink the structures of the use of time. We are 7 countries of the European Union here, and I'm pretty sure that in 2 years we will be many more. But we need to believe that this is not, we are not doing an innovation policy or something small. There is the need for the citizens of reestablish a new order of use of time. So really, I think that if we believe that, we will be able to make right of time as the right of the rights that Nuria was saying at the beginning. So this is a general reflection, pilots, yes, but transformative policies as well. And now for the new, I would like to know, what do you take out of this session that you have been, some of you were telling me at the beginning, we don't know even what was exactly time policies, no? So what do you take of today's session to your own cities and countries? Thank you.
Yes, in our case, in the city of Terrassa, Terrassa is big city, it's a big city council, so it's a challenge for us because we manage this program of time policies and we have to coordinate with other departments. So we would like to develop a pact for time, but my feelings are, I think it's a big challenge, and we will try to work with the other departments, such as gender policies, also citizen participation, also mobility. We also work with diverse capabilities, etc. And yes, we will try to contribute.
Speaking, listening the good practices and the cities that had strong experience in time policies, it is impressive. But I might say that despite the fact that we don't have a department, an office, a directorate for time policies in the municipality of Trikala, I think that we don't name it as policy, as time policy, but in fact, in the reality, there are services in the municipality that belongs to other departments, but in the reality, there are policies that help to the management of time for women and children, especially in the time. For example, we have a very strong plexus of child care services on the municipality. There are 20 municipal kindergartens for seniors and infants and babies. There are 5 municipal after-school centers for creative activities which are open from 2 to 10 a.m. For the children in order to facilitate the main caregivers who are the mothers and women. We are elderly centers for the older people in order again to facilitate women who are the main caregivers and for the elderly people. We have a program which is called Help at Home, which for enable and elderly people to, it's a municipal program And I realized that with this way too, we support the women in manage their time and participate in social local life. In the last decade, we try to introduce the gender perspective. In general, we have the Municipal Center for women issues, for women, which is a counseling center for women, and we do labor counseling and legal counseling for any kind of discriminations for women. So I was pessimist if we can do it because time use policies are not familiar for us, but I think that we can do it. Yes.
I would like to add some information about the municipality of Trikala. And they are relevant to mobility, sustainability, and climate change. I must refer that Trikala has chosen to be one of 100 neutral climate cities in Europe. It's very good for us. And now, in the municipality of Trikala, several technical infrastructures that have been planned on terms of sustainable urban development are implemented and include interventions such as larger pavements, more bike routes, ramps for disabled, more green spaces that facilitate the motivation of citizens in the city in an environmentally way. And all these things, social infrastructures, technical infrastructures, are relevant to the context of time policy. From this first meeting, I took some brilliant ideas, I must say, that I will transfer, first of all, to our administration, to the mayor, to the vice mayor, because we must have support of them in order to begin something with good basis on time policy to our municipality. Thank you.
I don't know if our colleagues in Belgium or Austria. Yep, go.
I have already reserved working time for 2 years now for the project, so I have time. And what I take with me now, I have 2 years to make sure this time policy is established within the organization. And I have very extensive networks, and I'm the gender equality manager, and that will be my goal. And I have very good ideas now from you all. Thank you very much for this wonderful day. But I think this will be my job. So making sure that we can establish this for 2 years, and I have reserved working hours for that. So I'm positive that I will be successful.
So I don't know if our colleagues in Belgium want to add something. Oh, yes.
Thank you a lot for this beautiful day. I learned a lot of things. Thank you, because I'm like a baby as today, and I hope we will improve the situation in Belgium, but step by step.
Good, thank you.
And I can also add for Germany that it was very interesting to hear from all your different approaches that you're using in your cities, because there are some things we are already doing in our municipality that I didn't recognize would correlate with this time for all or time approach at all. So this was very interesting, and I think we have many projects that we can just add this time character to and work with it. And yeah, we have a lot to do, but it was a lot of interesting input, and I'm very thankful to be here. So thanks again for the organization. And we will see what will change in the next 2 years. I hope we can actually implement some things in Germany too.
Thank you for your opinions. It's very important to see, no, that the different parts of the network, we are all learning, and this brings value to all. Just to remember what Ariadna was saying today, together with Isabella and Vera, that the coordination group, we are here for ad hoc meetings as well. So both the ones with bigger experience and those that are new, if you need some ad hoc meetings to discuss punctual aspects on how to implement some policies, you can contact members of the network, of course, or you can contact the coordination team.
So that is why you have the who is who. Well, you will have the who is who. And yeah, perfect. So I think we will leave it here for today. I would like to thank you to the city of Bergamo for having us on this initial meeting of the project. I think it's very important. We were saying that before, I think with Silvia, to meet face to face from time to time, so that we can create these links, these friendships, this collaboration, and that it will be more fluid, more easy to reach one another. And from there, we can start implementing things in our own municipalities, metropolis, and regions. So maybe to close the session, I will pass to Isabella.
Thank you, Ariadna, and thank you all for being here today. We were very happy to meet you face to face, and next time we will meet again in Italy, in Bolzano. And please remember, if you have any question regarding administrative managing, don't hesitate to contact me, so feel free to answer and answer again. And have a good trip back home now. And let me say goodbye to you with a word pun. With this project, we are always talking about time, all together talking about time, and this is to gain time for all of us. Thank you very much.